What up, your Timmons here. Now, with History of the World Part 2 premiering tomorrow, I'm of course doing my reviews for Mel Brooks films. So here's my review for arguably Mel Brooks' best film he's ever put out, and one of the best spoof comedies to ever be put out as well. That is the classic Spaceballs. It's no question this made one of the best Star Wars movies of all time, too. I mean, yeah, Spaceballs is awesome. As Dark Maul, or not Dark Maul, Dark Helmet. I meant, my bad. And of course, besides Star Wars, it's also parodied other films such as Star Trek, Alien, The Wizard of Oz, 2001, Planet of the Apes, even Transformers. And the film, of course, is a heroic. You have Bill Pullman, who plays heroic mercenary Lone Star, who's of course obviously a parody of Luke Skywalker, and his nameless sidekick Barf, played by John Candy, who's of course a parody of Chewbacca. Who had to rescue Princess Vespa, played by Daphne Zunga, who obviously is a parody of Princess Leia. Of course, they had to protect her, rescue her from Julia and her droids. And so, of course, Matrix, who's actually voiced by the late great Joan Rivers, from being captured by the Space Force led by President Screw, played by Mel Brooks, who, of course, wants to use Vespas as like ransom to obtain Julia's heir for her for their own planet. And obviously, of course, Spaceballs Commander Dark Helmet is played by Rick Moranis. And of course, you have George Weiner, who plays Colonel Sunzers, who's like the commander of Spaceballs. And of course, he is a parody of Grand Moff Tarkin. And his name is referenced to obviously Colonel Sanders. You also had like Dick Van Patten was also in this. Um, Obviously, Joe Rivers voicing Dot Matrix is actually a parody of C2 3PO. John Candy is, of course, a parody of Chewbacca. I mean, you even had John Hurt playing like a cameo appearance, parrying his character from Alien. You also had some other fun supporting players as well, but man, Spaceballs is great. It's so funny. Definitely one of the best spoof comedies of all time. The Rick Moranis, like he really let's be real. Rick Moranis is a comedy legend. Like he is a comedy icon, and here, I mean, he's of course a national treasure too. He is so great as Dark Helmet. I mean, playing this parody of Darth Vader, I think is terrific to see Rick Moranis as. And plus, seeing him playing a bad guy in general is always a treat. Of course, he technically did reprise his role, once on an episode of The Goldbergs, which I thought was cool to see. Um, but yeah, I mean, this movie, like, look, lots of Star Wars fans will even tell you this is maybe their favorite Star Wars movie, even if that was not really a Star Wars film or anything like that. It's obviously a parody, but yeah, Spaceballs is just great. It's so fun. Has some great one-liners to it. A great monologue attached. It is so terrific to watch. And how does it have a 57% on Rotten Tomatoes is beyond me. But hey, this shows that Rotten Tomatoes is not everything. But yeah, the writing is great. Bill Pullman as like Luke Skywalker's parody is so great. And that's definitely one of his best roles in it. The sci-fi element is great. I mean, this to me, this is Mel Brooks' best work. I mean, where he has History of the World Part 2 premiering tomorrow, but where is my Spaceballs sequel? I mean, I think it's finally time. He of course been talking about possibly doing another Spaceballs for years. One of which was supposed to be called Spaceballs. Trying to remember the actual title. The Quest for More Money, I think it was supposed to be, or yeah, I can't remember the actual title. I think it was supposed to be called Spaceballs in Search for More Money or something like that. Um, But yeah, this movie pretty much impacted on pop culture landscape. It is still fun to watch. The movie became a cult favorite. Yeah, if you guys have never really watched Spaceballs, I'd tell you, do yourself a favor, go watch it. Not sure. Let me see where you can find that. Man, you can find it on like any of the major streaming sites. You can mostly rent it on like Apple, Prime, Vudu. Dang, it's not even, wouldn't it be cool if if they released this thing to maybe Hulu or HBO Max, but maybe one of these days, who knows? That aside, if you guys do yourself a favor, go watch Spaceballs if you guys never seen it. It's one of the funniest spoof comedies of all time. Anyway, let me let you guys. Have you ever seen Spaceballs? If so, what show? Were you a fan of it? Were you not a fan of it? Favorite scenes, favorite moments? Where would it rank in your favorite Mel Brooks films? Drop comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for notification. This is Simon signing out.